Hey everybody, welcome back to Van to EDC. We're going to be opening up this new knife, and I will say that I have very high hopes for this for some reasons that I'll kind of get into as we go along. I'll be opening with this CJRB Echo button lock. It's a Ray Laconica design. I opened it I think about 2 weeks ago, and it's been in my pocket almost non-stop ever since. So yeah, you'll see why I'm opening up with this once we get into this here. Alright, so alright, perfect. So as you can see, this is another CJRB, and I mean, I don't know exactly what the title's going to be, but I'll kind of allude to what this is. So typical CJRB packaging, which is fairly nice, I would say, for budget knives. So get into here, you're gonna see. If I can get this out. Oh, that's weird. It got caught kind of on the pouch there. So what we have is the CJRB Echo button lock, but this is the KnifeCenter exclusive. And so this one is just one of their standard models that they released recently, and so this has like this supposedly carbon fiber scales. You know, some people have said that it's probably just G10 with a carbon fiber sticker on top. I don't know how to just determine that for myself, so yeah, anyway. But this is a KnifeCenter exclusive, and unfortunately at the time of this recording they are sold out. But you know, hopefully they'll do a restock at some point. I'm assuming they will, because if it's sold out that quickly, for context, this came out, I think it was like last Wednesday, what day was that? That would have been Wednesday, April like 26th or something like that, or whatever day that was. So anyway, yeah, this came out and it's sold out. Today's like Tuesday, April or May 2nd. So they already sold out. So hopefully that means they'll restock this. But basically, yeah, this is a KnifeCenter exclusive of the CJRB Echo button lock, not just the liner lock version. There is a liner lock version of this knife that CJRB also makes. But yeah, I didn't know that this was coming out, and then I saw it, I think, on like Instagram or I think I was actually just on KnifeCenter's website and happened to see that it had just released, and I was like, what? And so, you know, and so the reason I considered getting this was because I don't love these scales in particular. They're really slick, and I just don't care personally for the carbon fiber aesthetic. So both of those reasons were reasons why I was hoping to, or you know, I was open to getting a different version, and this came in black micarta. I want a knife that has some level of black color to it, so this is perfect, because this to me is a very like a potential like candidate for like best budget gentleman's like knife, basically. So yeah, I do have high hopes for this. I think I mean, it does look good in hand. I am noticing right off the bat that there is some like kind of frayed bits of micarta on either side, like where you see right here and such. Nothing serious or nothing terrible, I would say, but you know, it's definitely not like flawless. But yeah, let's see. Looking at like the seam here. Yeah, it's really hard to feel the seam between the titanium and the micarta, so that's good. Like the tolerances between the two are very good right there. And I think that this micarta is ever so slightly contoured, but like marginally, if that. I think the giveaway is that the fact that there's like these rings of light, you can see in the lighting, but like the different rings of like light and dark, I think that usually is an indicator that there's some level of contouring. But I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so basically this is black micarta, this titanium bolsters. It still has steel liners, which it would be great if they could do titanium liners, because the only thing that I think I'm not going to love about this is the weight. This is like, I think 3.8 ounces, and for me, I would prefer to have like a 3-ounce knife, maybe 3.25 ounce knife at most, for just a general EDC knife. So anyway, yeah, I mean, overall, like all the CJRB knives that I've opened for myself so far have been pretty good out of the box. No major flaws or issues. Let's see, centering here. Let's see if I can get that centered up on camera. So I think the centering's good. It's always hard for me to figure out how to like really show that well on camera, but from like the way I'm able to do for myself, just like by the eye test, I think it's pretty well centered. So yeah, so let's open this. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Yep, it's about what I was hoping for, I would say. I would say even like the slightest bit, like it's not snappier, but like the sound of it is a little more crisp than this one, the carbon fiber version. You hear it's a little more of a dull kind of open. And I'm not sure if that has to do with the difference in scale material or something else maybe. But yeah, this sounds a little more crisp, so. But obviously beyond that, it's very smooth. There's no yeah, it doesn't feel gritty when I'm trying to like open it. The detent on the reverse flick, on the front flip, on the thumb flick, they're all pretty good. So yeah, the detent strength, yeah, pretty solid, all things considered. I think in my time with this one so far, it's not perfect for all three deployment methods. So I feel like it's a little light of a detent for a very satisfying thumb flick or reverse flick, but it's perfect for, I would say, the front flipper. You hear it's very feasible to get that very crisp, swift, snappy front flip deployment. So I think, let's see, it sounds nicer, so that's nice. The detent is about the same, I would say, between the carbon fiber version and this exclusive version. So yeah, let's see how good the lockup is. Well, that's one thing I was really surprised by with the when I first unboxed this one, was just how tight of a lockup there was. So yeah, I think just as much so, if not maybe even more, the lockup is real solid, and it hasn't loosened up too much. This one hasn't loosened up too much on me since then. And I've flipped it probably over 300 times in all reality ever since I've opened it. So that's a really promising sign that it's kind of, very, very tightly locked up. Either they put a lot of Loctite and or the tolerances were just really good on it. So yeah. What's next? Just ergos in general. So I mean, I guess if you haven't seen my unboxing of this one, then I mean the ergos are basically the same. I guess the difference is the feel in hand, because this is micarta with like this titanium bolster, which I mean, I just love the look. That's a part of the reason why I was willing to spend money on almost the exact same thing. It's just the scales are different, the presentation is different, but yeah, but the ergos, it's very natural, like standard grip. This is not a true like finger choil, it's more of a sharpening choil, so you can't choke up onto the blade fully, but you can choke up a little bit, kind of like up to here, there you have the space here, so that's nice. Yeah, and the nice thing is this kind of like the spine of the handle really melts into your palm pretty well, at least for me, with my medium-sized hands. I do kind of wish there was more of a curve on the front of the handle here, because I feel like it's kind of how would I say it? I don't know. Like I guess it depends on what angle you prefer holding the knife in, and what uses you have for it. But overall, just ergonomics are pretty good. They're not the best, but they're definitely good. I think that one of the big differences perceptually or like in hand is also the clip. So I think this is a titanium clip, and so it's also contoured and rounded on the show like the outside of it or whatever, versus this is this bent steel clip. So I wouldn't say that this has any. The nice thing is it's a pretty low profile clip. It's pretty soft edges, so it's not that there's no real hot spots there. I think comparatively this has even less of any noticeable hot spot, because honestly, like, see how this flares out a little bit. I'm wondering if this I guess the hole is there so that you can unscrew the clip when you want to, for whatever reason. But I guess, so you can feel that a little bit more versus here. It's a little more subtle, I guess, because there's not that flared out part by the screws. So yeah, that's great. Handle rigidity, let's see. I think this is pretty strong. You're not getting much flex, if any. I mean, you like if you put it in a vice clamp, you definitely could get it to bend, but right now it's, I mean, I'm not going to be hard using this knife, so I'm not at all worried about that. Yeah, the internal details. So the one thing that I'm curious, I'm wondering if this is purely like a budget saving thing, like less machine time on these liners, or if this was a preference by either Ray Laconico or CJRB. But these liners are not at all milled out, which I'm like, why wouldn't you do that other than to save money on like machining time, basically, for all this liners, which I can understand. You know, like I appreciate that they have this knife at the price point that it's at. If that's the thing that they had to do to keep it at this certain price point, like that's fine with me, I guess. But I would honestly consider, I guess, finding a potential like I guess like modding company / individual who would be able to kind of mill out some of the liner just to make this even lighter, because the lighter this knife gets, the more I mean, I don't see the weight getting in the way of me wanting to pocket this, but if it was lighter, I'd be even more excited to just have it in pocket just in general for truly like every day, because despite the fact that this falls out like above my preferred weight category, I've been carrying this super frequently because it's really thin in pocket and it's just super fidgety and very slicey. Like that's obviously really important with the blade that you actually use on a regular basis. The blade stock is super thin. The edge is good enough, and I guess the blade steel's good enough to where it's just really easy to cut through stuff for everyday tasks. So yeah, let's look at the blade here. I noticed, and I don't know if this is just a matter of, I don't have a cloth nearby, but I think it's some sort of like satin finish, but it's a very fine satin finish. It's not one of those like really noticeable really thick bands or striations of the satin, of like a belt satin or something like that. So this is nice. It's nice and reflective. I think some people would consider it cheap, but for me, like personally, I like the look of it. It's reflective, but not like, it's not a mirror or anything like that. So yeah, let's look at the edge bevel. The edge bevel here, I would say it's pretty good on this side, and it's a little uneven, like from this point on to this point on. It's a little kind of variation, but for a budget knife, not bad at all. Yeah, man, I really like this. So overall, I mean, like I mentioned, the reason I got it was because, or I guess I don't know if I said it explicitly, but like I've really been carrying this a lot. Really like this design on the whole. It's just mainly the scales that really I'm not a fan of, and so there's other options, but I didn't want the stainless steel. There's like 2 stainless steel button lock versions, but were significantly heavier, and I do not want to carry a knife over 4 ounces as an EDC. And then there's a green micarta one, but I want something in black, so I picked this because this was essentially the lightest version in black at the time. Had I known that they were going to come out with this, I probably would have just waited to buy this. But honestly, I can see this will probably be part of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you're interested in trying this design out and don't want to spend money on it for yourself, you get a chance to win it if you're one of my subscribers at the 1,000 subscriber mark. So we're not super close to getting there, but I'm hoping eventually we will. So anyway, but this one I can see carrying very frequently because I think this is truly like a very good candidate for a gentleman's knife. Just that bolster look with the black micarta. I think the black micarta looks really good. It's understated, but it's still very like well defined in a way, or I don't know. Yeah, but I really like this design, and I like this aesthetic with the bolster and the black micarta. and the titanium clip, I think that adds a little, nice little touch to it of, making it extra premium. And so, yeah, I'm sure this will be the thing I carry now that, or instead of this version, I'll probably be carrying this version from here on out, but we'll see. I don't think I'm going to baby this, but at the same time, I don't want to beat it up because it is an exclusive, and I like how it looks and everything like that, so I want to keep it looking fairly good. But I use basically all my knives, so yeah, this will probably be the one that I do like the 1 month review of the general Echo button lock on, which I for sure am going to do because I really like this design. And so if you haven't got your hands on one and you're interested in, I definitely recommend it. And if for whatever reason they're able to, or whenever / if KnifeCenter ever releases does a restock of this, so far I would definitely give it my my approval, my encourage people to get one if they don't already have an Echo button lock. If you like budget button locks, I think this is a great one. Like at the moment, the only thing I wish they did different is that they just milled out the scales, and it's honestly not a huge gripe of mine, and that could just be a personal preference thing as well. So yeah, look forward to a 1 month review of the Echo. It'll probably be a review of this version, even though my first 2 weeks were on this one. But yeah, if you have any questions about this version, feel free to throw them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them. And yeah, look forward to a 1 month review of the Echo button lock coming up soon. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to watch, and yeah, take care until next time.